Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Miami, Season 5, Episodes 4 and 5. And yes, today is a double recap kind of day. And Lenny, the things I want to say, I can't say in the first 90 seconds of YouTube. But you should feel ashamed of yourself to treat the mother of your two children like this on national TV. I understand if you fall out of love with her and you want a divorce, that's your right. No one's saying that you have to be unhappily married, but there's a way to do everything, and this ain't it. And do you even think about the fact that one day your kids are going to see this when they get older, and they're going to have questions as to why did you treat their mother so horribly? And I get the impression that you're enjoying giving Lisa the hardest time ever. I feel like you're getting off on the fact that Lisa's devastated and heartbroken, because there is no way that any decent person could do this to the mother of their children. But y'all, let's just dive right on into it, because as you guys can see, I have a lot to say and we don't have a minute to spare. So we start off episode 4 with Julia at home with Martina, and they're at their brand new Miami beach house. Now the house is gorgeous, it's right on the water, but Julia's not happy. And from the outside looking in, it's like, why are you unhappy, sis? You're living the life. You're in a gorgeous home on Miami Beach. What's not to love? We learned that Julia never wanted to live on Miami Beach in the first place, and it's also painful because they're in this huge home together and it's just the two of them because Julia's daughters are out the house. One daughter's in Paris living with Julia's ex, who's her father, and the other daughter's at school. I think she said she was at UVA. But anyhow, Julia feels really empty since her and Martina are empty nesters, and it's really apparent that Julia cannot seem to get herself out of this funk. Watching this scene, I get the impression that her and Martina will be divorced soon. Their body language, the way Martina was snapping at Julia, it is evident that Martina does not have the patience for Julia's complaints. She pretty much is looking at Julia like, why are you complaining? How can you complain? I'm making all this money for the both of us. We live in Miami Beach. We're in this gorgeous home. What more could you want? And I don't think that Martina's gonna put up with Julia's complaints much longer. Julia seems irritated by Martina, the constant traveling. She's made it clear that Martina's always gone and she's always by herself. So I don't know, I will not be surprised if they end up filing for divorce at the end of this season, because neither one of them look happy. Now this next scene with Larsa at the beach hosting her dog's birthday party, that was cute. Now, for all my dog owners out there, do you guys throw parties for your dogs? Like, let me know. I think that's really cute. But anyhow, all the ladies arrive with their dogs, and of course, Julia has to be different. She brings her goat, Elvis. And Elvis is bad because he headbutted one of the dogs. Now, I don't have a pet, but if somebody else's pet headbutted my dog or cat, I'd be pissed. And Larsa was not here for it. She said, Julia's goat is aggressive just like her. And when Larsa announced that she now sells dog collars, they were all thinking, really? And even Alexia was annoyed. She said, we all own businesses, but it's a bit annoying where every time I see you, you're trying to sell me something. And so we see flashbacks from last season when she had that party at her house and she made everybody change into those hoodies because she was a pretty little thing ambassador and she wanted them all to wear it so that she could post on her Instagram so that she could get paid. And then we see her promoting her wine line at her New Beginnings party a few weeks ago, and now this. So I definitely understand Alexia's frustration, because it's like, damn girl, we get it. Yes, we all want to make a coin, but it's a bit obnoxious to promote yourself and your products every single time we get together. Now, I called it last season when I said that Adriana is jealous of Larsa. I'm not saying that I'm an expert on human behavior, but I do have a pretty good grasp on human nature. But Adriana's true colors came out when she announced to everybody at the party that she was going to get a BBL in the coming weeks. And everybody's faces dropped because it's like, girl, what? Larsa was pissed. She said, excuse me? The way you came after me and my body and my brand new butt last year? And Adriana, you didn't feel embarrassed? You shaded Larsa so bad. You called her everything but a child of God. You said that she was a Kardashian wannabe. You said that you could see her ass from the moon. I mean, you went in on her body because you were jealous the whole time. And that's generally what happens. When people are overly critical, don't be so quick to be offended because 9 times out of 10, it's usually out of jealousy. And then when you were asking Larsa for her blessing and she said, you want me to come with you for the surgery? When you tried to shame me all last year? Like, what's going on here? And Adriana playing dumb. Like, what? Adriana, just own up to the fact that you're a copycat and a hater. And folks who are jealous of you tend to copy you. Even though they can't stand you, they still want to copy your ways. I'm gonna do a separate video on jealous friends. Like, we could go all day because I have stories for days. I have so many story times, y'all. We will be here for a month if you let me. Because I know all about that craziness. Somebody can't stand you, but yet they want to be in your space. How does that work? But that's exactly what it is with Adriana. She wants to be Larsa, and that's why she hates Larsa. So the next best thing is to look like Larsa. Alexia had me screaming. She was so concerned. She said, now, Adriana has these skinny chicken legs. If she wants this big old ass, she better pay for some thighs and legs to match it. Otherwise, she's gonna look crazy. So Lisa arrives with her dog, and the first interaction between Larsa and her is a bit awkward. Larsa points out that Lisa's teeth are fake, and I said, well, damn. But I said, Lisa, don't feel bad. The majority of people on TV have veneers, okay? And your teeth look good, so just brush it off. But now, Larsa says that she wants to get back to a good place with Lisa because they used to hang out all the time. And here's where I have to ask again if Lisa is purposely being naive and turning a blind eye, because when she was telling Alexia about the date night from hell, she says that at the end of the day, they've had their ups and downs, but now they're on the upswing. I said, now Lisa, who are you trying to pretend to? Nobody's dropping all this weight and getting in the best shape of their lives out of the blue and then still not having sex with you. So girl, let's put 2 and 2 together real quick. Lenny was brushing you off during your date night. He could care less. So there's no way that you could tell anybody that you and Lenny are in the up phase. Lisa has always struck me as somebody who will gladly be in denial, because I remember last season and when she kept discussing Lenny's emotional affair a few years ago, and she said, I know for a fact that it was only emotional and it wasn't physical. Like, I know 99.9% that Lenny did not sleep with that woman. It was just an emotional connection. And I was looking at her like, sure, Jan, because there's no way you could say that with a straight face. This man left your marital home for 2.5 months and was only talking to this other woman. Now, Lisa, while my heart goes out to you, you did get on my nerves. Of course, Lisa brought up the whole mortgage thing yet again. And I said, we are 4 episodes in and you are still talking about this. Lisa, let it go. It should not be that deep. Having a mortgage is not a bad thing. Plenty of well-to-do and rich people have mortgages. Why are you so pressed about that? Now, I could see if Larsa said that you were broke, or you guys were in foreclosure, or Lenny wasn't a good doctor. I could see if she came for you like that. But all she said was, you guys have a mortgage and rent your place out every weekend. That's not a bad thing. Now, we see a short scene with Dr. Nicole, her mom, and her son out having a picnic. Now, it's more of the same conversation. Nicole's mom is urging her to forgive her father and start fresh. My opinion remains the same on this. I want everybody to stop forcing Nicole to suppress her feelings. I don't think it's right that Nicole has to feel guilty about why she does not want to be close to her dad. Her dad was not there for her. He was a deadbeat. He's still not there for her now. So I'm just not understanding why everybody's on the dad's side and they can't see where Nicole's coming from. And I was so upset when Nicole said, multiple people, Anthony, Alexia, and my mom, have told me that I'm part of the problem too. And I'm confused. How is she a part of the problem? She's the child. He's the parent. If he wants to be close to his daughter, then he needs to reach out to Nicole and do better. I was mad, like, Nicole, don't even blame yourself. You've done nothing wrong. But we're gonna see how this all plays out. I do hope that Nicole's father finally gets it together. I'm not holding my breath for that, but whatever happens, I hope that Nicole makes the best decision for herself. So we get to Lisa's good vibes party, and I'll say it again and again and again. Lisa and Lenny have a gorgeous home. Well, I guess I could say had a gorgeous home because now they're in divorce proceedings and we don't know if Lisa's gonna keep the house, but I digress. Anyhow, Lisa's excited, she's in a great mood, and Lenny looks completely checked out. He wasn't even dressed up. She had to tell him, like, Lenny, can you put on a nice shirt, please? The fact that Lenny is making it painfully obvious that he wants out of this marriage, and Lisa is turning a blind eye to all this, it's really sad to watch. But anyhow, all the ladies start arriving, Larsa shows up, Alexia arrives, Kiki shows up, and I was surprised to see Kiki because remember that Lisa was mad at Kiki over Kiki opening her mouth to Larsa about the joke. But I'm glad that they've moved past that. Now, I got a tiny drop of secondhand embarrassment when Lisa was parading Lenny around and she said, look at him, doesn't he look so great? Tell them how much weight you lost, babe. And he's like, yeah, I lost 60 pounds. I felt really bad for my girl parading him around like that. I said, little does she know that he's about to be out. And another thing, I thought it was interesting when Lisa said that her and Lenny are different when it comes to parties. She likes to have the same old group of friends come to her house, whereas Lenny likes total strangers, and they showed a flashback to when they both hosted a lingerie party. And I said, Lisa, that's a warning sign right there. He's having all these parties with all these random girls because he's scoping out wife number 2. But at the end of the day, if somebody wants to cheat on you, they're gonna cheat on you regardless of if you have parties at your house or if they go out. So Lenny's somebody where he was gonna cheat regardless. I thought the conversation between Alexia and Adriana was interesting when Alexia asked if Adriana asked her new guy if he's married. So she says, oh no, he's going through a hard time right now. A family member of his passed away, so it's not the right time to ask him. And I said, Adriana, you are obviously stalling because you probably know deep down that he is married and you don't want to ask because you want a man. Adriana gives me a bit of desperation when it comes to meeting men and finding love. If you're too afraid to ask him, then either hire a PI or pay to get a full-blown background check. That's easy enough, right? Adriana was more concerned about who told Alexia this information, and she says, Marisol told you, didn't she? And so Alexia says, yeah, I can't lie. Marisol knows everybody in Miami. She knows everything. She told me, and Marisol doesn't lie, so I trust her. Honestly, Adriana, that's the least of your worries about who told Alexia that information. Find out if this man is married. Now, as the party's going on, Lisa's telling all the women about how they had to put their family dog Jax down the other day, and it was devastating. She says that Lenny was crying profusely. He's a very sensitive man. And I said, now, Lisa, Lenny was not crying only about the dog. He was crying because he knew that in a few short weeks, he was about to tear his entire family up. And it really spoke volumes when they played the footage of Lenny crying. and Lisa wanted to hug him, and he didn't even want to embrace Lisa. That right there said it all. I mean, this man has completely checked out. He wants nothing to do with Lisa. He doesn't even want his wife to touch him. But Lisa says that with all that's going on in her life, she wants them all to put their trivial issues aside, and she's inviting all of them on a girls' trip to the Florida Keys. So they're really excited. And now we cut away to Julia and Nicole talking, and Julia reveals that she's having marital issues as well. She says that Martina's always complaining that she's not nice or kind or affectionate, and Martina even threatened her that if Julia does not get it together, she will leave her. So Julia at this point starts sobbing, and I mean, it is all coming out. She's saying that she hates living in that huge house with just her and Martina. She misses her daughters, and on top of that, she's just stressed because she had to put her lab down 6 months ago, so it's been a sea of emotions. So while she's crying, Nicole's comforting her, and then Adriana and Lisa come by, and they're comforting Julia as well. Now, while the ladies are outside talking, laughing, and crying, we see Lenny inside with his friend. And Lenny, you are such an idiot, because if you want to have a conversation like this, make sure that your mic is off. Clown. Lenny thinks that because he's whispering, they're not going to pick up on what he's saying. But his friend Vito is saying that he's a single man now, and Lenny makes a joke saying that in a few short weeks, he's about to be joining his friend being single as well. And Lenny was so proud of himself saying that. I said, you should feel so embarrassed. And the fact that you were saying this in front of your son, and even his friend had to say, like, wait, Lenny, your son's right here. Let's not talk about this right here. Like, let's move over and talk about this. The way my jaw dropped when Lenny's friend Vito asked him if he was still sleeping with Lisa, and when Lenny said no, because that would be like cheating on the actual lady that I care about. And I said, you have got to be kidding me. The fact that he would say that on national TV. And I saw a clip of Larsa and Lisa on Watch What Happens Live the other night. And Andy said that when he was reviewing the footage, he kept saying to himself, I cannot wait for Lisa to see this episode, because the fact that this was going on behind your back and you had no idea. And Lisa said, yeah, when I saw it, I was blown away. I could not believe he said that. And I'm not going to say that it's all men, but I've noticed that when a man is no longer in love with you, once they've lost interest, it's like they cannot seem to give you any type of respect or decency or common courtesy, because it seems like Lenny just hates Lisa now. And he's talking like she's the issue. You're the one cheating on your wife, the woman that you stood before your family and God and vowed to be faithful, but yet you have all this disdain for her. I'm hoping and praying that Lisa's able to use this footage to get as much money as she can out of Lenny in this divorce. I hope she gets more than half. And I hope she gets the house too, because what a psycho. And even Lenny's friend was like, oh my gosh, bro, really? I don't want to see you guys break up. While this is very upsetting to watch, a lot of you guys made great points in my comment section that you never thought that their marriage would go the distance, because earlier on in seasons 2 and 3, Lenny was low-key threatening to leave her if they didn't have children. So their marriage was low-key, always on shaky ground. Before we move on, I have to say, when Nicole and Anthony pulled up to Lisa and Lenny's house by boat, I said, now that's how you do it.
I love it. I love it.
So we open up episode 5 with Lisa at home, and she's FaceTiming Marisol. She lets Marisol know that she was missed at her Good Vibes party, and then she says that she's excited to see her on their Florida Keys trip. So she says that because it's also Alexia's birthday, she wants the trip to be even more fun. Now I said, Lisa, little do you know that when you get to the Florida Keys, your life is about to be changed forever. Now we move on to Julia at her Miami Beach home, and she's really happy for the first time in a long time because her 16-year-old daughter Emma is going to be visiting them. Remember that Emma lives in Paris with her dad. So Julia is overjoyed because we know that she is not happy about being an empty nester. Now, Julia, I was giving you a major side eye. How come you don't know the name of your daughter's school? And when your daughter revealed that you hadn't been to a parent-teacher conference and she was in 6th grade, I said, what's going on? I said, now, girl, the way you've been acting, I thought that you were a really hands-on parent. And come to find out, you haven't been to a parent-teacher conference in years. You don't even know the name of your daughter's school. I said, Julia, you're looking kind of funny in the light, sis. I said, let me find out that you actually love being an empty nester and you're just doing this for a storyline. But Julia's just saying the same old thing pretty much about how much she misses her daughters and she's not happy in this Miami Beach home. The house is too big. And I said, Julia, let me play you the world's tiniest violin. But I thought it was funny because Julia wants to know if Emma's gonna come back to Miami for her birthday. And her daughter said, Mom, I really don't know, okay? I have school. Like, just be happy that I'm here right now. Now, this short scene with Lisa sitting Logan down and explaining to him that Jax had to be put down and he's in doggy heaven was very touching. You could tell that Logan was really sad about it. Lisa was emotional having to tell her son this by herself because she wanted to tell the kids with Lenny. But Lisa acknowledges that Lenny has a crazy busy schedule to provide a great life for them. And essentially, she's like a single mother raising the kids by herself. But she says that ultimately, she knows what she signed up for, and it is what it is. One trope that I hate is this idea that a successful man, a rich man, has no time for their family, or you have to put up with pretty much an absent husband. Obviously, a man with money is going to have a demanding schedule. But in Lenny's case, he's an asshole. He doesn't want to be with his family. I think he wanted the image of a younger wife and 2 kids because that boosts him up. It makes him look like a family man. But in reality, that's not what he wants. You can tell that Lenny wants to be out. He's not trying to be in the house with the kids. And that's the real issue because there are plenty of successful men who value their families. They enjoy being around their wife and their children. But in Lenny's case, he's a dog. He's not trying to be a family man. And what kills me about Lenny is you pressured Lisa to have kids. You pretty much gave her an ultimatum that if she didn't have any kids, you were about to be saying, shout out to everybody, I have fun.
Oh! Shout out to everybody, I have fun.
I gotta be good.
So you have your 2 kids. It's time for you to be a father, come home, and spend some time with them. I think that it's BS that Lisa had to do the job of telling the kids about your family dog. You should have been there as well. Again, I hope that Lisa takes you for every dollar. I hope she gets every piece of child support, spousal support, alimony. I hope she gets it all.
Bling, bling, bling. Bitches is mad.
The next scene with Larsa on her date, that was a cute scene. I love Zuma. The Zuma here in New York is that girl, okay? So my mouth was watering during this scene. But it was really cute because they were making sushi together and her date was really cute as well. We learned that he's an entrepreneur. Larsa says that they were friends and then she said, okay, you know what? Let's see if this could work. It was funny because Larsa said that she's trying to date other guys outside of athletes. Larsa's definitely out here and enjoying herself, and that's what you're supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to just date. I love it. I'm here for it. And I was laughing when she said that she compares every guy to Scotty because Scotty used to be so romantic and she feels like a lot of guys now aren't that romantic. But Larsa, I want to talk to you quickly because what is all this about you dating Michael Jordan's son? Girl. Now, when we flip back to Julia and Martina at the house, they're all having dinner with Emma, and Emma informs them that she recently got her scooter license and she's getting a scooter. Now, Julia's freaking out because she lived in Paris when she was younger and she knows how dangerous it is to have a scooter. So she's like, oh my gosh, no, like, I don't want you to do that. Take the metro, take the bus, walk, but you're not going to have a scooter. So her daughter says, look, Mom, I have my license. I'm doing it. I rode a scooter a few days ago. I did just fine. Like, it is what it is. So Martina says, look, Emma, as long as you wear a helmet when you're riding, I'm fine with it. So now Julia starts yelling at Martina because she feels like Martina should be on the same page as her. So they go at it, and I said, y'all need to get some counseling because it's clear that you guys are not on the same page. And you can see that Martina's not the warmest person. So when Julia has her outburst and starts screaming, she's not here for it. I always find it strange when these married couples get on here and the first season, it's all good. They're madly in love with each other. And then for their sophomore season, it's a complete 180. Because Julia and Martina seemed very stable when they first came on this show. And now all of a sudden, they're arguing. They don't see each other that much. Martina's irritated with Julia. Julia's irritated with Martina. They're screaming at each other over parenting styles now. I said, what's going on? Did you guys always have all these issues, but you hit it last season? Or maybe Julia being on this show, did that change the dynamic of your relationship? Because I find it so strange how you guys were so strong and in love, and now you really can't stand the sight of each other. So now we see Dr. Nicole at home, and she's having a boat day with her and the ladies, and you know that they have money. Of course, Nicole and Anthony have a gorgeous boat, and their captain was so cute, and I was screaming because he is the same name as her fiance. And again, Dr. Nicole, please feel free to invite me over the next time I'm in Miami, sis, because your home is stunning. Nicole's home is definitely top 3. Definitely one of my favorites out of all the franchises. Her and Anthony did that. And Nicole, just let me know if Anthony has a brother, an uncle, a cousin. So we see Alexia, Gertie, Adriana, and Julia arrive for Nicole's boat day. Lisa was supposed to be there, but she's not picking up her phone. They can't get a hold of her, so they go on without her. Now, they point out that Lisa's always late, but they are surprised that she wouldn't return their calls or let them know where she's at. Now, us viewers know why Lisa is not responding and not showing up to the boat day, because she probably just received word from Lenny that he wants out of their marriage, and she is devastated right now. So that was my guess as to why she didn't show up. Now they get on the boat and their boat is gorgeous. Of course, Nicole has a nice spread for them, their champagne. It's first class all the way. Now it was funny because Nicole was trying to set Adriana and the captain up. I said, that's right, Nicole, set Adriana up with an actual single man because this other man that she's messing with might be married. So while they're on the boat, Alexia and Gertie have a heart-to-heart, and Gertie expresses that she doesn't want Alexia to look at her as just a service provider. She wants Alexia to know that she's actually her friend. Now, last season, I never got that impression that Alexia and Gertie were great friends. I looked at it as, yes, they're on this show together, but I viewed them more as like employer-employee, where Alexia only talks to Gertie when it's time for a party to be planned. That's the impression that I got. I was happy that Gertie was honest with her feelings and told Alexia, like, look, girl, I'm not the help. We are two equals. Either we're gonna be friends or nothing at all. But you're not gonna look down on me and treat me like I'm just somebody who plans parties and that's it. And Alexia, in the first 2 episodes, you threw quite a bit of shade, talking about your new party planner is better than Gertie. So miss me with all this stuff about I do view you as a good friend. Like, no you don't, because if you were a good friend, you wouldn't be belittling Gertie's party planning skills in your confessionals. Just my opinion. But it seems like they're good. They hug it out, and Gertie says that she wants to be real friends. So now all the ladies start discussing their girls' trip to the Florida Keys, and Nicole's informing them that her fiance Anthony is going to fly them all there in their private plane. Now, I said, there is nothing that Anthony can't do. This man is a lawyer, a luxury car collector. I think he does investment real estate on the side. And then on top of that, he's a pilot. Nicole, you know you hit the jackpot, right? Because Anthony's also cute. Again, if he has a brother, uncle, let me know. But they're all excited for the trip. And now they bring up Lisa and Lenny's parties. So they all discuss the differences between Lisa's parties and Lenny's parties. And they all say the same thing, that Lenny loves to have all these girls at their house. So Adriana says that she's so confused that Lisa allows Lenny to do that because Lisa's always complaining about girls being super thirsty around Lenny. And so Adriana says that she would never bring all these girls half her age around her husband. Then Adriana adds that when it comes to men living in Miami, when they start getting older, they look in the mirror one day and say that they want to trade the wife in for somebody younger. And then she says, that's why you have to keep your man tight. And I said, okay, but Adriana, you cannot keep a man who does not want to be kept. You can be by your man's side 24/7 and he will still find a way to cheat if he wants to cheat. I don't like that notion of you need to keep an eye on your man 24/7 because like I said, if somebody wants to step out, they'll do that. My solution to that is I'm leaving. I'm taking half of your money and I'm leaving. Shout out to everybody. I have fun. Cheating is a deal breaker for me, okay? The minute that I find out, I am out of there. So I'm not going to sit here and patrol anybody. If you want to leave, leave. I'm not forcing anybody to be with me. That's not happening. My self-esteem is too high. I would never act like a man's mother where I'm watching him all the time to make sure that he's not doing anything. And what's done in the dark always comes to the light. So it's going to be found out eventually. And when it happens, I'll be out the door. But I think it's just so sad that Adriana has that mentality of you need to keep an eye on your man at all times because somebody else will take him. If somebody can take your man, then that wasn't your man to begin with. Just saying. And even if Lenny didn't throw these parties with younger women, if he still had the desire to cheat, he would have done it regardless. So even in your best efforts to prevent somebody from cheating on you, if they want to do it, they will do it. But Lisa definitely should have seen the warning signs that something was probably off when he wanted to have these big parties with people that he didn't even know. Because right then and there, I would be thinking, he obviously wants to scope out someone else. Because do you know these people? Why are they in our house? And then having lingerie parties. Like, obviously, you're trying to have something on the side. And if we're being honest, I doubt that Lisa had any say-so about Lenny throwing those parties or not. He probably told her, like, this is what's happening. Either get with it or you can go somewhere else, but I'm having this party. And she probably had to put on a smile and just deal with it. So it's the day of the girls' trip. Everybody's excited. We see Marisol, Kiki, and Larsa traveling together. Julia is going to be driving by herself. And Nicole, Alexia, Adriana, and Gertie are traveling together in Nicole and Anthony's private plane, where Anthony is the pilot. Now, before they take off, they're still waiting for Lisa because Lisa is supposed to be on the plane with them as well. So 30 minutes go by. They're all texting Lisa to see where she's at. And then an hour and a half goes by. And at this point, Anthony is pissed. He says, I have things to do. This is not right. She cannot keep us waiting like this. Like, who does that? And Lisa, I understand that you are having a hard time, but Anthony has other things to do. And that was very nice of him to offer use of his plane and his services. And you're holding everybody else up. That wasn't right at all. She could have, at the very least, sent a text to Nicole saying, hey, Nicole, I'm so sorry. I'll be there soon. Or if you want to leave, then I'll find a way to get there myself. I'm one of those people where I could be going through the hardest times and I will still do my best to be considerate. But to keep them waiting like that for 90 minutes, then you finally get on the plane. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm having a rough day right now. I didn't even want to come. You bring the mood down. So all the ladies finally arrive to the resort, and the resort is gorgeous. Now, while they're all walking around the resort and looking for their rooms, everybody can sense Lisa's energy. Everyone is like, something is not right, something is off. We even see Marisol go over to Lisa and she wants to know what's going on. And Lisa says, it's a lot right now. Now, when I tell you that I was completely blown, when Lisa went into her room and she called up Lenny, she is visibly stressed out because her nanny has to leave early because her nanny's not feeling well. She has a headache, she can't watch the kids, and this leaves Lisa in a bind because Lenny's at work, she's in the Florida Keys right now, and there's nobody there to watch her children. And her kids are little. They're 6 and 2. So Lisa calls up Lenny and she lets him know that the nanny has to leave immediately because she's not feeling well. So she's like, Lenny, I need your help right now. I'm away with the girls. I need you to get home immediately to watch those kids. So instead of Lenny being a good father, he tells Lisa that she needs to handle this and find another nanny to watch the kids because after work, he plans on playing tennis. So Lisa's like, are you kidding me right now? Our kids are about to be left home and you're telling me that instead of going home immediately to see them, you're gonna go play tennis? So Lisa makes it clear that she has exhausted all of her resources and that she cannot find a nanny or anybody else to watch those kids, and she needs Lenny to leave work and go and be home with the kids. So Lenny keeps saying, I understand that, but I have a tennis date and I want to go and play tennis. It means a lot to me. So Lisa's like, Lenny, I'm not going to do this with you. F tennis and be home with your effing kids. And Lisa looked like she was on the verge of having a nervous breakdown when she was on that phone with Lenny, because the audacity for this man to say that he would rather play tennis than go home and be with his kids for a few hours spoke volumes. And what got me was how cold he was to her on the phone. It was almost as if he was talking to a stranger. Like, yeah, but I need you to do this for me anyway. There was no care in his voice, no concern. I said, wow, you're a really sick man. Let me tell you, that scene made me so appreciative of my dad because my dad was everything. He loved being a dad, just the sweetest. He was fun. He couldn't wait to get home and just play with us. I mean, he was 10 out of 10. And the fact that, unfortunately, a lot of men don't really have that mindset is very troubling. But it was evident during that phone call that Lenny has checked out from his entire family. I am dying to know what is going through Lenny's head right now because we're all seeing this play out on national TV. I want to know, is he embarrassed? Does he feel crazy about how he's treating the mother of his 2 children? What are his parents saying about this? And I low-key hope that this affects his practice because you're sitting here dogging your soon-to-be ex-wife out like this. I hope you don't get any more clients. I'll be damned if I'm putting tens of thousands of dollars in this cheater and deadbeat's pockets. In all seriousness, Lenny needs his ass whooped. That's the only way I can say it, y'all. And I'm not too big on using a whole bunch of profanity, but it is what it is. Does Lisa have any brothers to come and go upside Lenny's head? Because what Lenny's doing is it's just so despicable. Like, who does this? And he has no shame about this either. It's like, what is wrong with you? But the ladies all go out by the pool. They're noshing on some light bites, drinking some margaritas. And now Lisa comes to join them and her vibe is all the way off. So she sits down and she says that she almost didn't come on the trip because she's going through so much. She's having nanny problems. The dog died last week. And she's also having some marital issues. So you have Alexia trying to comfort her and she says, oh girl, that's normal. You'll be okay. And I said, Alexia, nobody's in the mood to listen to your tired advice, sis. So Lisa's sobbing at this point, and then you have Larsa coming over to hug her, and she's like, Lisa, it's gonna be okay. Things are gonna change. And then Lisa says, no, things aren't going to change. Now you can tell that Lisa's having a really hard time coming to terms with what's about to happen because the way she took forever and a day to let it out about what's really happening. So when I tell you that Lisa is hysterical at this point, she's over all their advice and she says, guys, I think my marriage is over. So Larsa says, it's not over unless you want it to be over. And I said, Larsa, girl, just let Lisa vent, okay? Don't do that because clearly Lisa is not in the best headspace. And it's apparent that she actually wants to save her marriage. So you saying that to her is going to make her feel worse. So Alexia is trying to figure out what Lisa is hinting at, and then she wants to know if there's somebody else in the picture. So Lisa finally comes clean and says, yeah, there is somebody else involved. She's been lurking around for a while. She was actually in my house at our parties. Lenny asked me for a divorce. And he let me know that he's in love with this new girl. They've been dating for a few months. And you'll never believe what else. But he told me that he wants me and the kids to find somewhere else to live. So you have Alexia jumping up. She's like, oh my gosh, are you serious right now? She's pissed. Marisol's like, are you serious right now? What is he talking about? What does he mean? You and the kids find somewhere else to live. Those are his kids too. So Lisa starts sobbing even more and she says that Lenny has lost his effing mind and this is the lowest blow of her entire life. So of course, that to be continued flashes on our screens and I was speechless. Personally, I probably would have taken a bat to Lenny's head. Like, are you serious? It's one thing if you want to divorce me, you fell in love with somebody else, okay. But to tell me that me and our children have to vacate the premises and find another home to live in, that would lead me to violence. That's when I would probably snap. A hot, raggedy mess. And Lisa, I hope that you get every single thing that you want out of this divorce. Hire a forensic accountant, go over all those accounts, sis, because I'm sure that he's hiding assets. Take every single thing that's owed to you because for him to do this to you and on national TV is disgusting. This is the type of drama that is only found in soap operas. Miami's that girl. If you're not watching, I suggest that you start because we are in for a treat. The rest of this season is about to get even juicier and I will be here with bells on every single week. But y'all, that was my double recap. Thank you all so much for watching and you already know what to do. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and I will see you all later. Bye.